Welcome to Trew Friends. I'm Ryan.
I'm Nicolette. I started one of the first Trew Friends chapters.
I'm Luke. My fraternity had the very first Trew Friends event. We've registered over 1,500 students at our school.
I'm Nadia. It's an honor to be here to tell you about Heather's dream and to be able to help spread awareness about becoming an organ donor. Heather and I grew up together. We shared many of the same passions: cheerleading, beauty pageants, guys. Heather was a dynamic young woman who aspired to take a bite out of life so she wouldn't miss anything life had to offer. She was amazing and she was beautiful. She had a gift for making others feel special. Heather was always empathetic to those less fortunate. She had dreams and goals just like the rest of us. She set the bar high and was someone who I was very blessed to know.
I'm Natasha.
I'm Jenna. One of my friends got a heart transplant. As soon as I got to college, I joined Trew Friends to help on my campus.
I'm Carly, and we're all Trew Friends.
Sit back and relax. We have some great information we want to share with you.
London Fletcher, former linebacker for the Washington Redskins,
And Trew Friend said it best.
Knowing that you have the power to give someone else a chance to live a healthy, productive life is the greatest gift. I'm London Fletcher, linebacker for the Washington Redskins. I came to understand the importance of signing up to be an organ donor after hearing Heather Trew's story from her mom, Judy. That's when I decided to get involved. Every major religion in the U.S. supports organ, eye, and tissue donations as one of the highest expressions of compassion and generosity. Did you know that nearly 35% of patients waiting for kidney transplants are African Americans? Did you know that a single donor can save or improve the lives of up to 50 people? Anyone can choose to be a champion. Sign up to be an organ donor today and be sure to tell your family about your decision. Let's be real, you don't need them when you're gone, but others do. You have the power to donate life.
Imagine what could be possible if we just get informed about organ donation and then share it with the people we meet.
Trew Friends help people understand a topic that's, let's face it, just not always that easy to talk about.
I think we need to start positive, plain and simple. Every one of you can help save lives just by registering to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor, and by encouraging other people to learn more about transplants and organ donation.
Do you realize 8 lives can be saved from one single donor? And up to 50 lives can be dramatically improved through tissue donation from just one donor.
Did you know you are never too old or too young to be an organ donor?
And it doesn't cost you anything to be a donor. No tests, no hoops to jump through. It's as easy as a click of a button.
Last year, there were 30,000 successful life-saving transplants performed in the U.S. And it's not just the recipient that benefits. The lives of all their loved ones are affected as well.
Over 120,000 people are waiting for an organ, and every day, 30 die before they have a chance for a life-saving transplant.
Let's do the math. 30 people times 365 days. That's 10,950 brothers, sisters,
Moms and dads.
aunts, uncles, and friends that die every year waiting. But they don't have to.
If you're not an organ donor when you die, then you're taking a lot of people with you.
The simple fact is, not enough people are signing up, so we need to get the message out there.
That's where Trew Friends can help.
So what is Trew Friends?
Trew Friends is a division of the Heather Trew Foundation. We focus on educating and helping others to sign the organ donor registry. We envision a world where every person who needs a transplant will have the chance to receive one.
We need to make the importance of organ donation part of our conversation, every way we can.
If we increase awareness, more people will sign up.
Then we can help to decrease the number of people waiting for an organ, eye, or tissue donation.
By donating organs we no longer need, we can eventually eliminate the list of people that are waiting.
So how do we do it? It'll take more than hashtags on Twitter, but hey, that's a start.
Who knows? Maybe you're the one who comes up with a video about organ donation that goes viral and gets more views than Usher's latest video. Maybe. But let's start with some education first.
Almost everyone knows somebody who has had a transplant or could have benefited from one.
My dad was one of those on the waiting list.
Personally, I know a kid that needed a heart.
And the waiting list is growing. Did you know every 10 minutes someone is added?
Yup, because I was on it myself. I told you I knew a kid who needed a heart. It was me. My name is Ryan Miller. I'm a broadcasting student at Montclair State University. I'm in Bermuda, but not on vacation. I'm here to meet the Tucker family. Their son, Dakari, died of a brain aneurysm 4 years ago, and I received his heart. My story starts 4 years ago when I was a junior at Monroe Township High School. I enjoyed playing sports, especially soccer. That December, everything changed. A doctor thought I had pneumonia and ordered a chest x-ray.
She said that they compared that chest x-ray to one I believe you had 6 or 8 months prior when you were playing baseball. You had a ball to the chest. I noticed a difference. I had called Daddy and said that it was bad.
I remember running out of my office, and the first thought that came to my head was, oh no, not one of my boys.
We had been informed that I had a condition known as non-compactive hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, also known as an enlarged heart. I was then transported to Newark Beth Israel Medical Center, one of the top heart hospitals in the country. On New Year's Eve, doctors tried to implant a defibrillator. It did not go well.
You got into big time trouble in the cath lab, started to have multiple cardiac arrests. They wound up rushing to the operating room, unsure of what your neurologic status was.
I lost blood flow to my brain for a total of 4 minutes. I was put on a machine that helped pump my heart for me. I was weak, but stable.
Just to see your child with machines pumping, it was just too much. And the circuit breakers went off, and I collapsed. I just fell right there on the floor.
During the next few weeks, we faced more complications. Our greatest fear had been realized. I needed a heart transplant to save my life. I found out there are not many hearts available.
There are somewhere between 40,000 and 80,000 patients with end-stage heart failure in the United States that might be eligible for heart transplants, but there are only 2,300 donors.
Luckily, because I was 16, I was put on top of the transplant list. But I had to wait, and the days were filled with depression and doubt. I was mentally and physically exhausted.
You were doubting, why is this happening to me? 100 different comments coming out, and I just laid there, stroked your head, and just tried to reassure you that, we're not going to let anything happen to you. That's what we're here for.
And then we found out we had a match. A heart was available.
Within minutes, what hit Mom and I was the fact that we're sitting here celebrating, and somebody had to lose their life for this to happen. There's a set of parents that lost a child so this could happen.
Dakari, like me, was a soccer player, playing for a club and also Bermuda's national soccer team. He was talented, well-liked, and loved by his friends and family.
Dakari was my firstborn son. That was my greatest feeling ever. There was nothing that could replace him. There was nothing that I wouldn't do for him. He was number one in my life,
Dakari was my firstborn, the love of my life. He was a good kid. He was very athletic. He was an honor roll student. He was very organized, very loving, very giving person.
One day at school, Dakari complained of a headache. Within minutes, he was unconscious. He was taken to the hospital, where they found massive bleeding in his brain. He and his mom were flown to Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore.
And the first report I got was, we're not sure if he's going to make it through the night.
After 10 days, doctors pronounced Dakari brain dead. The family decided to donate 5 organs, including his heart, which was a perfect match for me. It was flown to Newark Beth Israel Hospital. It took 16 hours to put Dakari's heart into me.
Hey, Doc, say that again.
It is perfect.
One beautiful.
The surgery was a success, and Dakari's heart was beating strong inside my chest. After a few weeks, I could do everything I could before I was sick. I went on to captain my high school soccer team to a county championship my senior year. Then I enrolled at Montclair State University, where I became a broadcasting major.
I've been waiting to be able to thank these people. There's no words that are adequate, but just to show them and demonstrate how much we appreciate what they've done, how they not only saved your life, but for all intents and purposes, saved ours.
Meetings between donor and recipient families rarely occur immediately. Both sides need time to heal. It wasn't until we received a letter from the Tuckers a few months ago that we realized we may be given a chance to thank these people face to face.
I don't think I've ever asked you this question. It's a hard question for me to ask as your mother. How are you going to feel when and if they ask to put their hand on your heart?
I'd never thought of that.
Oh, God.
No, it's just that I never once thought of that.
God.
I'm just gonna embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I want that, I want them to, if they want to feel Jakari, I want them to be able to feel him. 4 years after receiving my life-saving heart transplant, I'm finally going to meet the family that donated their son's organs and saved my life. It's exciting. It's different. It won't really be real until we land, I think. Once we land in Bermuda, I think things will really start to set in as to what we're really about to adventure. The cab ride to their home was nerve-wracking. All I could think about was seeing Dakari's family. I didn't know it, but they were anxious too.
My emotions are all over the place right now.
I'm been looking forward to this for, I guess, I would say about 2 years. I wasn't ready before that, but I think now is the right time.
Right, Ed?
Oh my gracious. Hi.
I'm Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
It's so nice to meet you finally.
It is. Oh, wow. And yours, Mom and Dad?
This is Mom and Dad.
Hi.
I'm Ryan. We hug, and I feel relief that the Tuckers are such a warm and welcoming family. I'm taken back by all of his accomplishments, and even more shocked to find out that we wore the same jersey number.
They invited me to come to his game. Like this was like a couple of months after he died, and I didn't know if I could do that. But they wanted me to see how they played, and they always left the space where Dakari would have played. It was just open. Like nobody stood there, even though they had another person playing.
He never. Ryan scored his first goal. It was we were winning. I mean, the crowd went wild. Just tears. And like when he scored, he was like, I'm back.
I'm so happy. This is actually happening, and they're the most incredible people in the entire world. The Tuckers then brought me to Dakari School, Warwick Academy. They showed me the field named after him and a tree planted in his honor. It was there that they asked to feel Dakari's heart beating.
Very proud of his heart.
Right there. I wanted to allow the Tuckers to feel their son's heart and know that a part of him is still alive. The next day, Stephen took us to a local soccer match. This is where Stephen and I got a chance to bond over something he, Dakari, and I share a special love for.
You could be my son, man. Because you got my son's heart, and I know it's beating inside of you, and I love you dearly because it's beating in you. Everything is gonna be all right. You're gonna be part of me all my life. I don't care what it takes. I want to make sure that you're all right, man. Your mom and dad are there for you. Well, I want you to know that you got another mom and dad, man. And anytime, man, for anything, man, if we can help, we're here. You know, we love you. And
I love you guys too. You guys really, you brought me in to be a part of your family, and I could never replace Dakari. No one could.
No.
But I hope that I can help fill the void.
My son was he was a good boy, and I can see it in you that you're a good boy, and I wouldn't want no one better to have his heart, man. You got good character, good attitude, and I know you're gonna do great things. I feel there's something about you, man. I've only just met you, but I feel there's something special about you.
It's hard for me to put into words how much I love the Tucker family. The Tuckers made me a part of their family, and I'm and I'm forever grateful. Our meeting has opened up a whole new chapter in my life. My story was 11 minutes and 52 seconds. In the time that you watched it, someone else was added to the organ transplant waiting list, and someone died. Think about that while you look at this lucky guy, and know that I just as easily could have been your brother, or son, or nephew, or best friend.
Man, that's an amazing story.
I am so grateful for the gift of life I was given. Thanks to the Tucker family, I was granted a second chance to live.
Dr. Chris Berry is a transplant surgeon and researcher at the University of Rochester Medical Center, and he's here to help us better understand donation and transplantation.
In 2012, nearly 7,000 people died while waiting for a life-saving transplant. That's 19 people every day for an entire year. That's equivalent to 13 jumbo jets filled to capacity crashing every year, and there are no survivors. A more critical look at the data from 2013 suggests that actually up to 30 people die every day. That's 22 jumbo jets crashing every year. Now, if the FAA investigated these deaths and found that they could have all been avoided with a simple signature, they would demand action. Too many people are dying each day in this country because not enough people are registering to become organ donors. We need to take action. So why are so few people signing up? The main problem is that organ donation is icky. We don't want to think about dying. We don't want to think about our loved ones dying. We don't want to think about being cut up after we're dead. But I think this ick factor is a matter of perspective. There are many gross things in life that are simultaneously beautiful and miraculous. Organ donation is an incredibly kind gift bestowed by compassionate human beings to others in desperate need. What an amazing gift to give, in which part of your own physical being lives on in someone else. Here are 6 facts on organ donation. Fact number 1, organ donation saves lives. Transplantation is one of the most miraculous achievements of modern medicine, with excellent short-term and long-term outcomes. People's lives are not only saved, they're transformed. Previously desperately ill people can realize their full potential in life by receiving the kindest gift possible, a donor organ. Even the simple intention of pledging one's organs for donation says something powerful about what kind of person you are. Fact number 2, all doctors and healthcare workers will take care of you regardless of your organ donation status. If you have an accident or suffer a medical emergency, the team of paramedics, nurses, doctors, and everyone else involved is dedicated to saving your life. They don't even think about your organ donation registration status. They are thinking only about you as a living person, and they do everything in their powers to keep you that way. It's only when all heroic efforts have failed that an entirely separate team of healthcare professionals is called in to consider donation. Fact number 3, you aren't necessarily too old or too ill to be a donor. People in their 70s and their 80s have donated life-saving organs and life-improving tissues. There's no age limit to being an organ donor. If you've had an illness in the past, even a cancer, or if you have an illness now, such as diabetes, high blood pressure, or even hepatitis, you can still potentially be a donor. The decision as to whether the organs or tissues are suitable for transplantation is made at the time of donation. Sometimes the doctors may determine that your heart or your kidneys are too old, or they may say no because of an active infection or an active cancer. But no one can predict what shape you'll be in when you pass. Also, maybe your diabetes is not so bad as to damage your kidneys, or maybe your liver or your corneas are just fine despite your high blood pressure. Who can know this when your chance to save lives comes? If you feel in your heart that donation is good, that donation is doing the right thing, then please go ahead and register. The docs will figure out what to do when the time comes. Fact number 4, all major religions support organ donation. Don't take my word for it. Please talk with your rabbi, your imam, your priest, your pastor, your guru, your monk, if you yourself are unsure. But please have this conversation instead of using it as an excuse not to register. The overwhelming consensus is that donation is a profoundly spiritual act that honors the sanctity of life. If after thoughtful consideration you feel that your own religious or spiritual convictions don't support donation, then so be it. Everyone involved in the donation process will respect your decision. Fact number 5, the donation process is compassionate and respectful. The people who guide you and your family through the donation process are special people. They're specially trained grief counselors, they're specially trained end-of-life caregivers, and they care deeply about the cause of perpetuating life despite tragedy. The physicians and the surgeons involved in the organ recovery operation are highly trained super specialists in the field of medicine, and they treat their patients with the utmost care, respect, and dignity. These are highly orchestrated, precise, and non-disfiguring surgeries. Every time there's a donation, the entire team honors and cherishes the memories and intentions of the donor and the donor's family and loved ones. And finally, fact number 6, there are no costs to the donor family or to the donor family's estate. Organ donation is a true gift of life. All costs related to donor recovery are covered by the transplant recipient's insurance. I hope you find these facts on organ donation helpful and you share them with your true friends. Thank you.
Hopefully now you have a better understanding and can start a conversation with your friends and family members about giving the gift of life.
Meet Judy Trew, mother of Heather and the founder of the Heather Trew Foundation and Trew Friends.
Hi, I'm Judy Trew. I wish I could be there in person today to thank you for choosing to be part of Trew Friends. I look forward to meeting you soon during your campus events. My hope is you'll find this experience not only fun, but also rewarding. You're now part of a unique group that'll make all the difference for those who wait. What are they waiting for? They're waiting for a miracle. I know about miracles. My beautiful daughter Heather experienced many, but that's for later. Heather was born healthy and strong in every way, especially her spirit. She loved music, was high energy, and full of determination. I often wondered how she would affect the world with her strong will. At age 7, Heather proudly started the first grade and was thrilled with all the prospects. After the first week of school, our family attended a Labor Day picnic. Everything in our world was about to change. Heather took one bite of an undercooked hamburger. We later learned it was contaminated with a very dangerous E. coli. She became violently ill and was hospitalized at the Medical University of South Carolina. Her condition deteriorated quickly, and her organs began to fail. In spite of the odds, Heather refused to give up, and her recovery was a miracle, but her body was damaged. Her days were often a struggle, but she remained determined, her spirit strong. She adored school, her teachers, singing and performing and dancing. When Heather was 12, she'd outgrown her damaged kidneys and needed a transplant. Heather was fortunate. She didn't have to wait on a list for a miracle. She received the gift of life from a loving aunt who was able to give her a kidney. This amazing gift of love gave Heather 7 more years to work, play, create, and inspire those around her. I still receive letters from Heather's friends telling me the impact Heather's caring spirit had on their lives. Daily, she encouraged those around her. She dreamed big of how she could help those who were ill. Heather went to work in Atlanta with a vocal coach, Jan Smith, who represents many major singers. She wanted to use singing as a way to reach out and help, but it wasn't meant to be. Just before her 20th birthday, God took her home to rest. Our families learned a great deal while coping with the illness and loss of Heather. Every day is precious, and we should live it to the fullest, helping those in our path. Heather's mantra was, sign up to be an organ donor and be sure to share your decision with your loved ones. I encourage you to discuss each family member's decision so you can honor their wishes. Heather made her intentions known that we should support organ donation and transplantation. We've tried to fulfill her dream and spread her hopeful message through the work of the Heather Trew Foundation with her vision of the formation of Trew Friends clubs and chapters at high schools and college campuses. Thank you for taking the time to learn how you can help those who are waiting for their miracle. Remember, you have the power to donate life.
Are you in? Of course I'm an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Who wouldn't want a piece of this?